My clients often ask me, like, Cynthia, I can't get him off my mind. And I want you to know that you're not crazy for replaying the relationship. You replaying the conversations, the moments, what you should have said, what they should have done, what you should have done, the things that you should have done differently. It keeps going in your head over and over. You're ruminating, okay? But this is something that I want you to know. It's not that you're stuck on him. Is that your mind is trying to close a loop. It's trying to figure out what is happening. It's trying to make it make sense. That's all. And I want to help you today so that you can stop ruminating on the relationship, stop living in the past, and be able to move forward. If you're new here, welcome to Heal the New Sexy, where we discuss all things healing, self-love, and relationships. My name is Cynthia. I'm a licensed therapist and coach. And I want to talk about why you keep replaying that relationship in your head, okay? But before I do, I want to invite you to the Healing from Heartbreak course that will be held on May the 2nd. If you are going through a breakup, if you're going through a divorce, you want to sign up for the course, it will be in the pinned comment, but it also will be in the description. Listen, I know that you've probably said, why am I still thinking about this? Why can't I let this go? It's been a year, it's been months, it's been 10 years. Why can't I let this go? Why do I keep thinking about it? And it boils down to science. You have your frontal lobe. Your frontal lobe is the part of your brain that is like, girl, it's been 5 weeks. Why do I keep thinking about him? Why do I keep thinking about how he treated me? Why do I keep thinking about the things that he said or the things that I wanted to say to him? But there's a different part of your brain that's in this loop, and I want to help you to break and disrupt the loop so that you can move forward and move on and stop giving that man mental space. One thing about just as us as humans, when we have these things like mental blocks or we're ruminating, it keeps us stuck. It keeps us from being progressive, and you want to be progressive. You want to move forward. You no longer want this man or the past relationship to control your present and your future. I want you to know that this isn't about willpower. It's about understanding what your mind and body are trying to process. And once you understand that, you will stop feeling out of control and you'll regain some control. All right. So first, your brain is trying to find closure. This has to do with attachment. Your brain doesn't like unfinished stories. This is where maladaptive daydreaming comes in, because even let's say when you first met him, you engaged in maladaptive daydreaming. You can imagine having a child with him. You can imagine you guys getting married. He tells you about his hopes and his dreams, and you can imagine yourself there. Why? Because the brain doesn't like unfinished stories. But now all of a sudden there's been a disruption. There's a divorce, there's the breakup. Your brain is trying to catch up to what happened. Your brain is trying to tie the situation in a bow very neatly. So when the relationship ends without clarity, without accountability, without real closure, your mind keeps going back, attempting to solve it. It replays the last conversation. You keep rereading that text message. Why you still got that text message? Why you still got that text message? You're listening to the voicemail that he left, and you're trying to hear the things in his voice, and you're trying to figure it out. You're trying to put the pieces together. You're trying to figure out, was this real? Did he ever love me? Did I ever matter? How could he betray me? How could he hurt me? He said he wasn't going to leave me. He knows the pain that I experienced in my previous relationships. And so your brain just keeps going and going and going. Like, Cynthia, I feel like I can't rest. I feel like I'm being driven out of my mind. Did I mean anything to him? Your brain is seeking clarity. Not because you're obsessed, but because your brain is trying to make it make sense. But here's the problem. You're looking for answers from a situation that never gave you truth. You can't get clarity from a space where there was no truth. Sometimes we have to engage in radical acceptance and realize I'm never going to get the truth from that person. He's not going to tell me the truth why he cheated on me. He's not going to tell me the truth why he would disconnect, why he left all of a sudden, why he ghosted me. He's not going to tell me the truth. He's not going to tell me the truth why he filed for the divorce. He's not going to tell me the truth. No matter how much I want it, he's not going to tell me that. I want you to know that rumination is a trauma loop. So let's go a little deeper. What you're experiencing is called rumination. It's when your mind keeps cycling through the same thoughts, hoping for a different emotional outcome. And this happens a lot when there's emotional inconsistency in the relationship, when you experience hot, cold behavior. And some of us, even prior to romantic relationships, we experience hot and cold behavior from our parents. There was an emotional disconnect. When they were pleased with us, it was hot. When they were not pleased with us, it was cold, and they were emotionally distant. And so you may not have even known it, but this was very triggering to you. It was very upsetting to you. So your brain tries to do this in order to soothe, in order to regulate itself. The highs were highs, the lows were lows. It was confusion mixed with connection. It was inconsistent. Your nervous system got attached to the unpredictability of the relationship. So now, even though it's over for real, your body is still trying to process the experience. And that's why it feels like you can't turn it off. Because this is not just mental, it's emotional and it's psychological. What you're going through is quite normal for a person who probably had a childhood like you or had a traumatic experience maybe early in life. So your brain has different ways of coping compared to someone else who may not have gone through the same things that you've gone through. And so again, your brain is trying to seek clarity. It's trying to make it make sense. Why did he leave us? Why did he abandon us? Why did he betray us? And you just can't get it out of your mind. I want you to know that you're trying to rewrite the ending. Part of you is replaying the relationship because you're trying to rewrite the ending. You're imagining, if I had said this, if I had done this, maybe he would have stayed. Maybe he would have loved me more. What you're really trying to do is you're really compromising with yourself. You're trying to make compromises in order to save a relationship in which you weren't honored, a relationship where you didn't have the same values, a relationship in which you weren't aligned. But you're trying to soothe yourself and saying, if I could have done this, maybe I could have saved the relationship. But my question is, was the relationship saving you? Was the relationship keeping you? Was the relationship empowering you? And if the answer is no, I know you feel uncomfortable right now, but the best thing that happened was for you to leave that relationship. Listen, I want you to know that what you're really grieving is lack of control because you didn't get to fix the relationship. You didn't get the ending that you wanted, even if that ending was marriage. Because sometimes we are dating and it's intentional and then it falls apart and we're grieving the part of the story that we were looking so forward to. So your mind keeps going back, trying to create the ending that you wanted because you saw him as your person. You saw him as your forever. And you are devastated that you didn't get the opportunity for what you saw to manifest. I want to talk about why you feel stuck. All of this creates a loop in your brain. No closure from the relationship, no clarity, rumination, emotional activation in your mind and in your body, and then more rumination. In order to disrupt this, you're going to have to be very intentional. In my course that I'm teaching on May the 2nd, I'm going to teach you 21 days no contact. And I'm going to teach you skills there that's going to help you to end this for good and forever. Because no contact is not just about physical contact where it's just like talking to him on the phone or those type of things. No, you also have to get here. No contact has to be something that you do here. And in the course, I'm going to teach you how to do it and how to gain control back over your life and your mind and how to heal and move forward. All right. So every time you replay it, you're reopening the wound instead of actually processing it. And that's where many women get stuck because you don't know how to emotionally process the things that you've experienced in your life. You know how to replay it and pick it apart, but you don't know how to process it. That's why healing alone sometimes is not beneficial. That's why you may need a therapist or you need a coach to help you heal because we have the tools and the skills that you need in order to heal in a successful way. Many people heal, but they don't heal in a whole and a complete way. And that's why you need to be at the course. Or maybe you just schedule a one-on-one coaching call with me, okay? I want you to know, like people be like, time heals all wounds, and that's not the truth. That's not the truth. Okay. I want you to know that when you are ruminating and not emotionally processing it, you are keeping the loop alive and active. And some women try to figure out, why is it that he's moved on with his life, but I'm still stuck here in this place? It's because you are still engaging in it from your maladaptive coping skill versus a healthier space and place. So let's talk about what you actually need. Not more thinking, you need completion, but not from them, from you. And let's talk about what this looks like. You need to accept that you never got the clarity and you never got the answers that you needed from the relationship, and that's okay. You can live without the clarity and you can live without the answers. We have to understand sometimes that there are some people who run from accountability. They don't want to be accountable for their behavior. They don't want to have to answer to you for how they treated you, how they took advantage of you, how they dropped your heart, how they manipulated you. They don't want to be accountable. And so you have to be okay with that. You have to allow yourself to feel what you may be avoiding. You may be in your head because you don't want to be emotionally vulnerable. Cynthia, I can't fall apart, but you may have to in order to build yourself back up again, in order to truly heal from this relationship, right? And you have to choose to stop trying to make the past make sense. It's not going to make sense. It's not going to soothe you. His behavior is not justified. You weren't justified when you abandoned yourself. You weren't justified when you shrunk. You weren't justified when you minimized yourself. You weren't justified in accepting poor behavior. Because sometimes as women, we have to accept accountability too. We accepted negative behavior from our partners. And we stayed when we shouldn't have. When we shouldn't have, right? Healing happens when you stop trying to solve it and when you give yourself permission to release it. You need to release that man from your mind, release that man from your soul, release that man from your environment. I forget what video I was like, give that man everything back that he gave you. There should be no reminders in your environment of that man. I saw a young lady on TikTok. She got rid of her bed. She said, I used to talk to him a lot. I would be in my bed and we would be in FaceTime and I would talk to him a lot. She got rid of her whole bed and got a new bedroom set and everything. Sometimes you have to do that in order to release that man. The you that was with him, you have to release, and you have to release him. I want you to know that you're not stuck because you're weak. You're stuck because your mind is trying to finish something that it never had a proper ending. Some of you are looking for an apology. You are looking for him to acknowledge how he devastated you. You are looking for him to acknowledge the impact his behavior had on you. And he's not going to give it to you. So you need to release him. Forgive yourself, forgive him, and move forward. This is Heal Through This Sexing. My name is Cynthia. Till we talk again.